Alright. Friendship is a plant. We must often water. And this is by German proverb. I agree with this quote because it's kind of like a personal quote. Me and my buddy, we hung out like all the time since we were like little until like we graduated high school. We both said to each other, hey, let's go try and make the Fullerton baseball team. He didn't, I did. And after that, ever since, we just never like hung out at all. And it kind of hurt me a little. I called him and texted him saying, hey, let's hang out, dude. We used to like go on double dates together. Stay the night at each other's house. Each mother would just cook breakfast and everything, and it was cool. Guy friend, guy relationship, kind of thing. Okay, but I sometimes text him saying, hey, let's hang out, and he's saying, no, I gotta work, I gotta do this, I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm just like, alright, that's cool. And that's why I kind of agree with this quote, because friendship is like a plant. You don't just like leave the plant there and just say, oh yeah, we're friends. No, you gotta keep watering it and say, hey, let's do some stuff. Let's see each other once or twice, or just out of the week. Make some time. And that's why I really agree with this and how it's like a personal kind of quote. Thank you.
No, that's yours. All right, let me start with the thing that I thought worked best for your speech, and then a couple of things that are problematic. I like your story. You've got a good story to tell. It applies to the theme that you're talking about. You've got some interesting details, and I think people can relate to that. That you've got a friendship here that's changed, and it seems to be dying on the vine, so to speak, and it's not being nurtured the way it should be. And as a consequence, it's difficult to keep that friendship. It's a very literal interpretation of the quote, and that's fine. You got a good example of it. That's the only example that you've got, though. So there's not a lot of structure to the speech. There's not really much development outside of the one context. If we were doing the impromptu speech for the final exam, the one that we're doing there, this would be just great, because I'm only asking you to come up with a single example, make sure your point is clear, speak effectively in presenting your concept and idea, and be done. And I think that would be worked really well. As it is, it's a little thin, all right, when it comes to content. All right, now, the things that are a little bit problematic. Your attention device, basically you just use the quote. So there's no imagination or thought that's going into that. I think that's a little bit problematic. Because you just have a story, there's not really much of a preview, except that you are telling us that the story illustrates that particular point. So you get a little credit on that. Your delivery issues, things that you are problematic, your eye contact's inconsistent. You have a tendency to kind of look down while you're speaking. You do look up occasionally, but most of the time it's sort of like you're thinking out loud while your head is down, and then when you remember to look up, you do kind of talk to us, and then you kind of, it's more like you're thinking to yourself and remembering that you're talking to somebody at the same time, and I think that's a little bit problematic. Your voice drops out sometimes. You kind of almost like you're a little bit indifferent to your story. Well, that's the way it is, you know, that sort of thing. And I know that sometimes you're trying to do that deliberately, but sometimes it just sounds like you're just giving up on the last sentence, and you want to make it a little bit more consistent. I thought your body movement was okay. Like I said, I like the exit line at the end of the speech, coming back to the point that you're trying to make. I thought you did a good job on that. So you're doing some things that are pretty good, but there's a lot more that you could do better. So there, you know, yeah. Solid. Thank you.